Welcome back. I'm David Lahutta, and joining me is Nick Heil. So Nick, I see these things at the gym all the time, but I really don't know how to use them. Talk to me about kettlebells.
Kettlebells have been around for a long time. They were used in the early part of the 20th century by Russian weightlifters, and then they were popularized in the U.S. by a Russian expat in the 80s. And originally he was sort of teaching this to, kind of a misfit crew of Hell's Angels and ex-cons and a real motley group. But it's really caught on lately with more mainstream folks.
Yeah, so who's using these now?
Almost anybody. It's a variety of different types of athletes. It's even people who just are, looking for a different type of exercise for weight loss. It's really appealing to a lot of different folks these days.
And why are kettlebells so good for me? Why are they better than a normal exercise routine?
Well, it's basically weightlifting, but it's weightlifting in a very dynamic and complex way. So rather than the traditional weightlifting move where you're just doing bench press and isolating muscles, this takes you through a full, long range and a dynamic, complex movement. So not only are you building strength, but you're also conditioning your core, improving flexibility, burning a lot of calories through these workouts because they're pretty intense.
So these dynamic, complex movements, this is important. So, it looks like a rudimentary piece of exercise equipment, but these are really technical moves. So it's important to get a trainer, right?
Yeah, as basic as this looks, like a cannonball with a handle on it,
sure.
It's really a technical piece of equipment. So you want to make sure that you're getting proper instruction. You want to look for somebody who's a RKC or Russian kettlebell certified instructor.
Okay.
There are people that have been trained in the techniques and can show you the proper form. And really, form is everything with kettlebells.
And of course, like any exercise equipment, you want to start light, especially if you're a beginner.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is particularly tough for guys who want to go in and lift a bunch of heavy weight, but it's really key to start very light until you've got the form down, and then you start adding resistance or start adding weight.
Right. The last thing you want to do is rip out a socket or tear a labrum or
because it's you're lifting weights in a complex movement. The risk of injury is always there. So again, form is key.
If I'm a volleyball player, which I am, or a surfer, does this transfer well to other sports?
I think one of the reasons kettlebells have become so popular is how well it transfers to other activities. Sand volleyball for sure, surfing, climbing, running, triathlon, you name it. Kettlebells done properly are going to benefit your activity.
I'm sure it helps you build your core
a little
definitely. Bit. Legs, arms, little everything.
Yep, for sure.
Cool. So are we going to learn how to use these things? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let me show you a basic move. This is called the two-handed basic kettlebell swing. We're going to start with the kettlebell on the floor.
Okay.
I'm going to stand in front of it, maybe a foot or so back with my feet shoulder width or maybe a little bit wider. And I'm going to squat down. I'm going to hold the kettlebell with both hands.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swing the bell between my legs, and I'm going to pop it up using my hips and my legs. So what's really important to remember here is you want to keep a flat, straight back, and that a lot of the motion comes from the legs, and you drive your hips forward, and then you straighten them at the top, and there's sort of that popping motion. So you're just popping the weight forward, setting it back down. Repeat as necessary.
Awesome. Now, again, it's important to, you're not just doing this unsupervised at home, certainly when you're first learning it.
Yeah, you definitely want to get proper instruction, find a certified instructor, and make sure you're using the proper form with a technical move like this.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.